Well, welcome to Chom Sports News Chanel. Don't forget to subscribe. Arsenal still have unexpected Premier League title advantage over Man City with clear final chance. Arsenal news as the Gunners give up chance to go back to the top of the table, but despite all signs pointing towards Manchester City, there's hope yet there was always something inevitable about Manchester City. They have simply earned the right over the past 7 years to do this, to warrant such energy and fear from the early weeks of the season. They are the team that could be in the shadows, as scary as ever even if they're not there. Teams look beyond the rearview mirror and into the far-reaching beyond just to catch sight of City, to track their progress and analyze what stage of fully operational beast mode they are in. Even when there is nothing to worry about with performances, results, or the table, City lurk, their presence and history hanging there immovable. Nobody quite expected things to work out the way they did on Sunday. Liverpool's loss to Crystal Palace was as surprising as anything that happened over the Premier League weekend, but was only cautiously celebrated by those of an Arsenal persuasion that recognized the challenge Aston Villa would pose. The City factor, this time in true Death Star form, a 5-1 thrashing of Luton Town, had already taken over. By 6:45 p.m., despite there still being 6 games to go in this enthralling title race, the feeling around an empty Emirates Stadium was one matched by the end-of-season collapse marred by defeats to Nottingham Forest and Brighton last term. Arsenal are still in this battle, but the energy to sustain this grueling push alongside a truly winnable, if still challenging Champions League tie against Bayern Munich seemed to drain North London. The atmosphere was tense rather than expectant despite what was a strong first-half display to match anything from Mikel Arteta's side in recent weeks. Perhaps it was the way that their chances came and went like Liverpool's had just hours earlier. Maybe it was the pressure of going last with the weight of added opportunity. It could have simply been one step too far for a group that have been relentlessly impressive across 4 months of this calendar year. Whatever it was, the game is not up yet. City's 2-point gap is far from unbridgeable even if it is entirely out of Arsenal's hands. The issue is that when Pep Guardiola's side reached the summit at this stage, they very rarely let it go. The narrative has been that the 6-time champions, the side searching for back-to-back trebles and an unprecedented 4th title in a row, were always going to come. It's understandable why. They are currently on a 17-game unbeaten run in the league, haven't been defeated in all competitions since December 6th, 28 matches, and it all feels so normal. This is an unspoken factor, a totally intangible element to this title race that Arsenal simply cannot match. Liverpool have been there and done it themselves, but even then suffered twice in close run-ins that dragged every ounce of belief to the very smallest fiber. Jurgen Klopp has never actually won the league in England in a genuine race to the finish. He hasn't done it with crowds. This isn't to belittle massive achievements, but it demonstrates the scale of the mountain ahead of Arsenal at the foot of every single match they play. Nobody has finished above City in normal season since Unai Emery was Arsenal manager. Arteta himself could have done no more to shift this back onto City, to say that Arsenal were the team that needed fearing. Klopp tried with all his might, let Arteta have a go last year, and now they're in it together. But what can be done when history itself carries such statements of surefire intent? In the 3 title races City have truly been in 2017-18 and 2020-21 aren't being considered due to the sheer processional nature of them. One with 3 and 4 games to spare respectively, they have lost just 2 games from game week 28 until the point of clinching the title. That is, between game weeks 23 and 37 last season, game weeks 27 to 38 in 2021-22, and game weeks 25 to close in 2018-19. They have gone unbeaten across 39 matches on their way to winning the league. Add in the run from game week 17 this season, and the impenetrable nature is stark. The times that they have lost after game week 28 have only ever come when they were on the way to winning the league with games in hand, dropping off during a formality, or when they have already been crowned champions. It is easy to see why the Emirates Stadium took that forlorn ambience as Villa snuffed out the chance to put pressure on City. 4. If Arsenal had won this game, or even managed to take what would have been a useful draw against any non-superhuman team, they would have been looking at a chance to open a gap of 5 points to their rivals by the time they are next in Premier League action. Guardiola must now turn attention not only towards Europe on Wednesday, though playing at home should be a boost as the schedule really ramps up, but also the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea next weekend. Arsenal and/or Liverpool will be able to briefly put this weekend behind them and leapfrog up the standings. Then, with all three sides in midweek action just days later, both of the chasers are due to play first yet again. Even with the defeat to Villa, Arsenal could create a 4-point buffer by the time City next kick off a league game on the South Coast away to Brighton on Thursday, April 25th. It has been determined that this champion team of winners are relatively unaffected by what mere mortals would call pressure, but if there is to be a turn, then this is surely it. Playing second is undoubtedly tougher in a title race, even more so when there are two games to catch up and the possibility remains that not only one but also two teams could move ahead and need to be caught back up. This would be something new for City, something that could change things again, shift the tide, add a variable into the mix that has not been seen before. If there is a team out there capable of overcoming this and making it seem like nothing, then it is undoubtedly City, but for Arsenal it's a glimmer of hope when all else looked to be lost against Villa. The true advantage was given back on Sunday, but the title is far from a formality. Everything points towards City doing their thing yet again, or simply continuing to do what they already are, but Arsenal have a chance to respond and move more than one result away from their challengers. That, surely, counts for an advantage of sorts. And at this point of the season, against grooved opposition that could waltz home in their sleep, it means a lot. Thanks for visiting and don't forget subscribe, like, share and comment.